Ladies and gentlemen, now I've just woken up this morning and the first thing I see on Twitter is Attack on Titan collaboration coming to Global next week. And my first thought is, I know Global's moving fast, but I must have missed out on a new meme. I thought this was a joke. I thought people on Twitter were having a little bit of a giggle, and then I open up Reddit, man, and I see that it's actually legit. The Attack on Titan collab is coming next Tuesday to Global. They have absolutely no chill. This is relentless, man. And I'm very excited about this event if it does bring the same Awakening Stone farming that it had on JP. Because I literally got well over 1,000 5-star Awakening Stones from farming expeditions. So if it has that and that alone, that is the reason to be really, really excited for this event, regardless of how much you spend on the game. Because that is honestly... sorted out my gear for life on JP, but also I know that this event coming in, you know, much earlier on Global is going to be a bit different from what it was on JP. So I'm curious to see how this one shakes out, man. But again, if the Awakening Stone farming is the same and they never changed it, they never fixed it, it's been mad for like the last like 2-3 weeks on JP, man. It's been so good. Then that alone is the reason for like everybody to be really, really gassed about this event. However, I do very much understand the concerns about the speed of Global. We've had way too many characters, and while none of the Attack on Titan collab characters I really like, you know, beyond god tier, like game-changing, top meta options, they're all quite fun to play, and none of them are absolutely useless. I think all 4 of the characters really do have their quirks and scenarios where they can be quite useful, but yeah, I'm very interested to see how they kind of integrate with a global PvP meta, because we don't have any Goddess Elizabeth, we don't have any Lost Vein Meliodas, half the commandments don't exist on global, and also we don't have Super Awakening as well. So there are a lot of different factors that's going to make the release of these characters very different from the release on JP. Personally, I'm excited for it because I think there could be some really interesting potential, especially for countering like Blue Demon Meliodas, maybe with Green Titan Eren. I think there's going to be some really fun teams to run next week. However, the thing is, like with Titan Eren, man, he does need like a lot of ultimate levels because his power in the Titan form is really tied into ideally 6-6 on his ultimate, but I would say at the very least you kind of want like 4-6, 5-6 to really get the most out of that Titan form, because the attack related stats buff is pretty damn huge. And obviously, unless you're massive whaling, this is going to be, I assume, very unachievable for a lot of free-to-play and casual players, unless they, you know, change the structure of this event or give out like so many free tickets that it's ridiculous. And I feel like with the speed that Global's going at, we kind of do need like a Blue Merlin style event with this collaboration where they give us like just loads of free summons and loads of free multis. I think we need at least 5, ideally 7 to 10, but judging by the retweet event that they put out this morning, I just want to call out this event, man, because this event is it's beyond pathetic. It's so bad. It's an embarrassment to the marketing team at Netmarble. Honestly, man, I would hang my head in shame at just how tragic this retweet event is. So they put it out on Twitter, man, for the Attack on Titan, like, promo collab trailer, and for 10,000 retweets, it's 10 diamonds for everyone. That one's, you know, a bit fair, but for 20,000 more, it's a race draw SR to SSR ticket. So again, 30,000 retweets, man. That is a lot of effort. That's a lot of retweets. But 50,000 is a race draw part 2 ticket. So for 50,000 retweets on Twitter, absolutely huge feat, requires so much effort from the community, so much engagement. I think even some of the more ambitious JP ones go for about 15,000 retweets. So 50,000 retweets for not even a guaranteed SSR ticket is so damn greedy. And also on top of that, they've got a hidden mission you'll have to keep showing your support to find out. So if they get like well over 50,000 retweets, then we can get a Part 1 SSR guaranteed ticket, also known as another copy of Green Fat King. So to go like above and beyond, like well above and beyond 50,000 retweets, a Part 1 SSR is just lame, man. Like 30,000 retweets should have been a Part 1, Part 2 should have been on 50,000 retweets. I think these two tickets are a little bit of an insult, especially for like the speed that Global's going at as well. So yeah, this event was pathetic, and the marketing team, at least in my opinion, should hang their head in shame, because those rewards for that kind of engagement is disgusting, man. It's really, really disgusting. I was just genuinely appalled at that. I don't know how that got approved. Just terrible, really, really terrible. And I also think that the additional hype that they're trying to generate around this, especially on Twitter as well, and various social media platforms, is a little bit overshadowed by the fact that the event has just come out on JP, and there was so much hype for it initially because people wanted to see the characters and what they looked like, but a lot of that news and videos and information has already gone around in the last few weeks, so it's kind of on the tail end of that hype where there's been like so much content of it, so it kind of needed like a little bit of time to die down and the event to you know, fade into the background. And then I think it would have been a much better idea if they wanted maximum hype for this event to release it kind of alongside the launch of the final season of Attack on Titan. So marketing wise, I don't think they really thought this out too well. You know, they've just been rushing everything crazy fast. But I'm excited for this event on Global, like mainly for the Awakening Stones. The Awakening Stone farming and expeditions is just mad. It is crazy, but also I kind of have this feeling that they are going to remove that from Global or tone it down really significantly. So I'm a little bit worried when it does come to that one. But excited for the World Quest, man. I think that had a guaranteed SSR ticket, lots of gems in as well, so that one should be a pretty damn good time. And here they teased that all of the characters, Eren, Mikasa, Levi, are going to be coming with this collaboration as well, so it's going to be the full collab. And finally, they say to help stay true to the source material, a certain hero will also have a new type of ultimate move that will be shown at a later time. Please look forward to it. So they don't even want to show the Titan Eren transformation, but if you just type into YouTube like Eren 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, you can see it on like 50 different videos. It makes no sense when there's been like so much media going around about this collab to be like, oh okay, there's a new type of ultimate move when everybody knows what that ultimate move is already. So yeah, that was it's a bit of an L there, man. Bit of an L. Just a little bit silly to read. Again, it looks like we're gonna have a slightly different currency for the exchange shop, because I think we had something that wasn't Conquest tickets on JP. I think they were part of like the ODM gear. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be a little bit different in terms of the currency there, but I don't know what's going to be in the exchange shop itself. The exchange shop was actually pretty good on JP, had a lot of cosmetics for the characters, a lot of demon materials. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they include, and hopefully for a lot of the cosmetics, man, with this collaboration, they do include them in Conquest tickets, because especially with the summer event, man, they've really been milking the costumes recently. There's just been so many really, really good costumes like constantly being released. So it'd be nice to have some costumes and cosmetics like attainable via the event, because I think all of the Tensura ones were available just by playing the event. So that'd be really, really good if Global could do that, because again, there's just going to be so much to summon for on the banner and so many gems to spend to get all the characters and get their ults up. Also, we're going to have Titan Conquest. Now this, I think, is going to be a bit different to JP, because Esterosa was crazy for this fight on JP. However, this one, like Green Escanor, Liz, maybe Jericho as well, I think are going to be Very good options for the Colossal Titan on Global. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this fight kind of shakes up. I think the difficulty is going to be like a little bit easier in comparison for the hardest difficulty. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It should be interesting to have the 4-player co-op there in terms of like racing to see who can deal the most damage. Now, just to round off today's video, I want to quickly talk about all 4 of the characters and how good I think they'll be. So SR Eren, actually really good SR, one of the best SRs in the entire game, I'd say. His passive increases damage dealt to unknown race by 30%, so Gotha and also Merlin, he deals 30% more damage. Obviously, there's a lot of Gotha knocking about at the moment, so yeah, that's a really good passive. Also, his base skill has like a lot of damage on the base and also cancels stances. That secondary effect, not really too relevant, but the high damage multiplier, even on the rank 1, is really good. He also has Derriere's second ability to enhance basic stats, but also evades when attacked for 1 turn, and that evade is just so ridiculously OP. So yeah, I think like that's going to make him really good. Maybe on a Gold Rush team alongside Gotha and also Arthur, because you can probably burst down the opponent's Gotha quite quickly. Maybe use the evasion to dodge like a red Escanor there. And finally, you've got the ultimate, which deals like a fair amount of damage as shatter damage, which essentially just ignores resistance. So yeah, I think SR Eren is going to be solid and viable in the global meta. I think the green SSR Eren, like with a Valenti or maybe a Red King in the back, could work quite well against some of the blue team Meliodas Pierce teams there. So you probably need to run him alongside Gotha, maybe Merlin in the front, Red King in the back, or you can have Valenti in the front. And Green Merlin in the back as well. But either way, the strategy that you want to go for on this Eren, at least in my limited experience playing on JP, is you want to get into his Titan form as soon as you possibly can, and then he just goes crazy. Then you can just nuke people down with amplify cards. He's essentially like a bit more of a beefy version of Red Escanor when he's in his Titan form, and yeah, just has like a massive lifesteal from the ultimate. But again, the ultimate multipliers are kind of based on the amount of levels that you do funnel into this character. So ideally, like, to get the most out of that Titan form, you need a lot of levels on the ult there. But yeah, he's really fun to play, man. I do like Titan Shift Eren. He's really good. Then next up, we got Levi, and I think Levi's going to see maybe a little bit of play in novelty Gold Rush teams. I don't think, comparatively speaking, he's quite as good as Red Escanor, because you got a single target spike card, which is actually really decent, because Levi's always going to crit the opponent with the lowest health, but if there's only one opponent, then it's guaranteed crits on them. So I think he's definitely going to have his uses on global for sure, and he's very fun to play. But in comparison to Red Escanor, he's just not quite Red Escanor in terms of the damage and also survivability there. So yeah, I think he's going to pale in comparison. However, I think you will be able to make like Gold Rush teams with him work. So yeah, I'm curious to play Levi, man. I think he's definitely going to be better on global in comparison to JP, but also his ultimate can cancel buffs and stances as well. So yeah, if this like AoE card, man, that hit everybody also cancelled buffs because it's got such weak damage on the base, that would just be crazy good for the current meta and kind of like toning down Red Escanor a little bit. But yeah, I think Levi's going to be alright. And then finally we got Mikasa, and my prediction is this character is just going to suck so badly on global. Like, the only reason she's like semi-viable for PvP on JP is because of Goddess Elizabeth and her abilities to just stall out the match for so long, because the ideal scenario on Mikasa is she's got like Jericho's bleed card, but she also has a secret technique card which increases the damage dealt on it by 20% for every Mikasa card that you have in hand. So the ideal scenario is you just stall out the match for so long using Gotha and also Goddess Elizabeth until you have the ultimate on Mikasa, a handful of cards, and also 2 upgraded golden secret technique cards, and then you can fire off the ultimate and then go for 2 of these cards, and like everything dies. So it's a really satisfying Exodia combo, but it's so impractical, and it's just not going to work, I think, on global, just because of no Goddess Liz, because I don't think there's really any character that like longs a match out enough on global for this to be a good enough strategy. And there's so much like, what is it, Pierce burst and also Red Escanor burst. I don't see it happening. Again, I hope I'm wrong about this. I'd love to see a Mikasa meta, but I just don't really see how it's possible with the current PvP meta at the moment. But I think the other three characters, you know, they might see a little bit of play, they might be viable, but I do think Mikasa, without Goddess Elizabeth being in the game, is going to be really, really trash. So just throwing it out there, early hot take, early opinion there. I do hope I'm wrong, and again, it's going to be a very different meta. We're dealing with a lot of different characters and a lot of different stats in comparison to what JP have had the last 3 weeks. So yeah, I'm very interested to see if like any one of these characters does become very dominant. But yeah, I'm not really like that hopeful that one of those characters is going to rule the meta. But I think my super early hot take is that we might see this Eren run alongside Gold Rush teams, or maybe even like Blue Dean Meliodas Pierce teams as well, because I think he does bring some really good stuff to the table. So yeah, I'm interested, man. I'm definitely interested. I think alongside Blue Dean Melly, actually, you've got a fair bit of burst, also maybe a way to deal with, like, what is it, Escanor with the evade later on in the match. So yeah, I'm curious. I think if one character is really going to shine, it's going to be the SR one, which you probably are going to get a free 6/6 copy of. So yeah, I'm very, very interested to see how all of these champions impact the global PvP meta. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Attack on Titan collaboration coming next Tuesday. Feels crazy, man, but you know, I'm excited for it at the same time. It is a bit fast, but also again, if they do have that infinite stone farming, this event is going to be crazy for the current state of global. But we are going to have to see next Tuesday. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy today's preview video and talking about Attack on Titan units, please do smash that like button. Aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.